We're
Cool.
streaming.
I think that we should be live. Hey, everybody. As I mentioned before, Kelsey had to run for a family emergency, so we were sending good thoughts her way. And Paulson and I were happy to hop in and hang out with everybody. Paulson's got a presentation that he's going to run through in a bit for those that are new to affiliate marketing. But we're just going to kick it off with some Q&A. So did anybody else come with a question?
I have a few questions, but I'm not sure if they'll be answered in the training, so maybe I'll wait till later.
Okay, cool.
Okay, sounds good. So let me go ahead and just share. Chase, you already double checked in the group, so we're good.
Yeah, it does it. We're good. And I can see it.
Cool. By the way, guys, I have like a 15-20 minute run, just so you know, on these slides. It's not formal. If you have ever been to any of mine or Chase's webinars or Kelsey's webinars, we don't keep it too formal. We just want to give construction to, what's the word? A structure to the conversation, right? So let me go diving right into it. Do you guys see my screen? And Chase, sorry, I didn't get a chance to add you to it. I didn't even know you were going to be on it till like 5 minutes, and I know you jumped in for Kelsey. So I apologize, my man. So let's go diving right into it. How many of you guys want to build out a affiliate channel for your business, right? Like, give me a 1 in the chat. If you're watching from the Facebook group, there is a link on that post, and if not, let us know. We'll be able to let you just jump into the Zoom call. So inviting all of you that are watching in the Facebook group to jump in. But everybody likes the sound of affiliate money, but nobody knows either what to do or how hard it is and really build a brand around it, right? So I want to give you guys some really cool ideas of how you can launch with no audience. That sounds crazy, but I want to give you some insights to how to simplify this whole thing down, right? So why is affiliate sales so difficult, right? Typically, people don't understand the difference between a transactional audience building versus a branding audience building, right? Everybody knows you need to have an audience, you need to have some sort of following, all these things. But I've met some affiliates in the past where we try to do collaborations or events and all these things, and their audience is not that active with them, right? And that is very common, actually, right? And why is that, right? And this is a mistake you want to avoid. It's typically because the way they build the audience is not based on a transactional relationship. And that sounds so, what's the word? It sounds so salesy, right? It's like, well, I just don't want to have transactions, but I want to have some sort of a relationship with them where they would transact into a monetary value with me, right? So for example, if somebody interacts with you and made a purchase with you, like let's say for $1 or $5, right? That audience that you've built up with just that $1 or $5 offer is so much more valuable versus you having a branding, an audience, and following that's just simply engaging with you, right? It's two different things. It's better to have an audience that have transacted at a very minimal level versus a sizable audience that has never transacted with you, right? And I know a gal out in Florida. She launched some cool ideas, and I wanted to also share what she did as well. With no audience, and she put together a simple solution and really started bringing people in at these $1 marks, $5 marks, $15 marks, under $50, like very ultra low ticket systems, right? So I want to help you understand it's better to have buyers versus followers, right? We all agree on that, right? Everybody understands the difference, right? But how do we actually build those right audiences, right? So let's go right into how. First things first, this is one of the biggest missing pieces that I've seen a lot of affiliates make a mistake on. And by the way, Kelsey spends a whole lot more time with affiliates than I do. And every once in a while, she'll bring myself or Chase into having meetings with the bigger affiliates. And sometimes we'll do audits and really help them walk through the next steps or the next phases in their business. So I interact with a lot typically privately, right? And just really go through their systems. And here's what I realize quite often. The ones that do really well, they create an environment. The ones that don't do really well, they just have a lot of following. They don't have an environment, right? What I mean by environment is giving the audience, right? Giving these potential buyers or folks that are engaging with you in a followership, right? Giving them an environment to come into. Now, how do we do that, right? You guys following me so far, right? How do we do that? There's two specific ways I think everybody can launch an affiliate program for themselves. One is a boot camp, and two is a challenge. Now, what in the world are the differences between both of these? And we're talking about your gateways, your marketing gateways. And remember, transactional, not just random followers, right? What you want to do is, if you have, let's say you're a marketing person and you have an expertise in marketing, right? Let's say it's Facebook ads, right? And if that's what you do all day long outside of affiliate marketing, and that's something you bring to the table, my recommendation is to go out there and create an event, a 3-day boot camp, and you teaching people how to do Facebook ads. Now, what in the world does that have to do with high level? Absolutely nothing. It's about you. They're seeing you as somebody who has a specialized expertise, and high level obviously can serve you in that capacity later on as you grow this audience, right? But the first thing you want to do is separate yourself from the pack. And the only way you do that is by being yourself and bringing something to the table that you have. If you're an SEO agency, right? Create an offer around SEO, right? Most affiliates have a talent and a skill and a gifted thing that is not really used, right? And let's go to another level. When it comes to a challenge, the thing that you want to be careful about when it comes to a challenge is, again, speaking of environments, right? The environment needs to look the same, right? So if I am a woman, right, I'm going to do a women's only challenge where I have other women that come into my ecosystem of environment, and we're going to collectively do this challenge. I'm a huge basketball guy. I don't know if you figured that out yet from any of my other webinars. If I did a challenge, I'm going to get a bunch of hoopers and we're going to do a challenge on making 3-pointers or something. It's going to be something around me, right? Right? Maybe some of you have skills on content management or content delivery or social media or whatever, right? Whatever it is, your challenge needs to be for a synchronized avatar where they come into that environment, they see duplicates. That's a good challenge when they have the same exact people next to them. Versus a boot camp, it's about your expertise, and you can have a variety of audience that are different from each other, but they're all there for a common cause, which is, hey, I want to learn how to do Facebook ads. So you can have your grandfathers, your kids, your women, your husbands, it doesn't matter. These avatars could be a variety of pack, right? So that's really the big difference of when you do a challenge versus a boot camp. Like, what was that one everybody did for a while? 75-day hard. Why was that so big? There is a common cause, right? There's a common cause on it, and everybody had the same exact goal. So you relate with people, and they're able to create momentum on a challenge, right? If you don't let them talk about it with each other, with what they're doing, it becomes really hard to keep the environment whole. Otherwise, you see these leaks and people leaving and coming in and out, and all these things happen, right? So 2 ways to really build a transactional audience is by bringing something to the table that makes sense from you as a person. They need to collectively come to you for your expertise, right? And the other is the challenge, which is an environment where they're all the same and they can relate with each other. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Let me see, there's a few questions on it. A buyer is a buyer. Well, yes, 100%. But how do we differentiate from interest buyer versus active buyer? Right? Everybody's going to tell you they want to buy something from you, but when and what, right? And that's how you do that, right? You really have to differentiate between just having an audience that just love you and they follow you. But guess what? I've never seen your MasterCard or Visa, right? And that's a problem from a business perspective, right? If you're not profitable with your audience, then it just becomes a hobby. You're not building a affiliate business. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by getting down to the T's on what type of audience are you building and what kind of a real interaction do you have? Are they interacting at a transactional level? Are they engaging, or are they just engaging without a transaction, right? So when you talk about these boot camps and challenges, I'll also give you a pricing model of how to go about it. Okay, give me 1 second before I go into that slide. And I want to help you guys understand before, if I'm moving too fast, let me know. I was trying to keep my promise of going 20-minute run, and then we can go into a Q&A like we said, right? Truth about sales, the really, really good salespeople, they don't follow a script. We know that scripts will fail and they have a shelf life. It may work for a little bit period of time, but after a while, they just go out of the window. So what actually stands? What stands are the framework. So can I share with you guys my fundamental basis of how I do sales? And to give you context, I learned sales from this 75, 80-year-old guy that, he had a hedge fund in oil and gas. So what they would do is option trading, and based in Houston, and I met him many years ago. And what he would do is have to raise funds, right? So he's literally going into a room or an individual trying to raise millions of dollars. And that's who I learned sales from, right? So the objective is to recruit funds for this fund, this hedge fund, right? So what happens is he comes across people who has money, but they don't trust anything, right? So and this is the framework that he helped me follow. So anytime you start off into a chat interaction, Zoom interaction, it doesn't matter if you're meeting somebody in a restaurant, at a bar, it doesn't matter, church. This is the framework I follow down to the T. And some of you guys may be wondering, man, I had a session with Paulson like a month ago, and now I remember he exactly did this, right? So here's how it goes. I first want to give them an environment of sales, and I want to hear their story. Hey, Samir, thanks for jumping in, buddy. Help me understand your story. And what happens there, right? Typically, nobody's asked them about their story, right? Including their wives. They don't want to hear it, right?
True.
So what happens is I'm giving you an environment for you to talk, and what happens is you put your wall down, right? And then the next thing that happens in that conversation is I talk about numbers. And you might be wondering, what exactly does this framework have to do with affiliate sales? This has everything to do with affiliate sales. This has everything to do with any kind of sales. Affiliates, to me, it's even easier to sell as an affiliate because quite often you're selling to folks that you relate to or they're similar to you, right? A lot of you affiliates are trying to sell to marketing agencies that they already know. They already know what you're in for. But so what do? You need to give them an environment where it doesn't come off too salesy and too pitchy, right? So the way you do that is by letting them talk about their story. They're going to go on this rant of 2-3 minutes or whatever. If you're short on time, tell them how the framework is. Hey, in 30 seconds, help me understand your story, right? And when I first start off, I tell them, here's how I want to construct this conversation between us, right? I'll let them know what the framework is. So as soon as they share the story, I don't want to waste time talking about my story. And it's not about me as the seller, right? I'll tell them, hey, Richard, next time, remind me to tell you my story. But I don't go into my story because I'm short on time. I don't want to waste time. I want to get right to the point of actually closing the deal. Then I'll tell them right away, I want to go into numbers, right? And the way I want to go into numbers is by volume, not revenue. Nobody's going to talk about revenue up front, right? So the way you get to the revenue conversation is by asking them about volume. Hey, Pamela, on a weekly basis, how many affiliate customers do you deal with? Or how many business owners do you deal with? She's going to tell me, you know what, Paulson, I deal with about 5 to 6. Not a problem, or I'm just giving you an example, right? And then the next thing I'll ask is, where do you want to be, right? So in my bridge walking, let me give you guys context of the bridge itself. The left side of the bridge is the current scenario of that business. The right side of the bridge is the desired scenario of that business. And imagine you're walking with the toddler, and this toddler is going to yank you forward every once in a while in this conversation. And every once in a while, you as the parent, salesperson, have to drag the toddler forward. So when it comes to numbers and revenues, quite often you're dragging them. When it comes to their story, they're dragging you. They're excited to talk about that. Not a problem, right? So imagine you're walking a toddler, 5 years old, across this bridge, and the bridge consists of their current scenario, and your point is to get them to the desired scenario. And this bridge is going to basically be the market product fit. Like maybe there's a fit or not, you don't know. What you're trying to do is discover that match, right? And in the conversations, here's a framework I follow. Story, numbers, conditions, decisions, right? I see a few of you in here that's already seen this from the last couple of webinars that I've done, but this is the same framework I follow for affiliates as well. So numbers, hey, on a weekly basis, what does your volume look like? Perfect. Where do you want to be? That's the desired scenario, right? Okay, that sounds good. So what does that mean? Help me understand numbers really well. And I let them lead the revenue conversation. If they trust you and you let them hear their story out, they'll be like, man, we're doing 250,000, right? Man, we're doing 50,000. Man, we're doing 2 million, whatever it is, or 10 million, or whatever it is, right? They will spill these numbers out because business owners think in profit and loss. They're numbers driven. They may not be accountants and not be organized, but they're still numbers driven for the most part, right? So you want to get to that revenue conversation before you move into conditions. And what in the world is conditions? Conditions is where you finally see a market product fit and you give them a condition or a clause based on that, right? So let's say I finally get on a call with Danielle and Danielle's like, you know what? I think there's a good fit here. What if I did this for you and what would that mean to your business? This is how I would do my conditional conversation. You notice this is a framework. It's not a script, right? I'm thinking through my mind as I go through this conversation. I'm guiding them through this linguistic dance, right? And I'll ask him, hey, Pamela, if I brought you, let's say, XYZ result, what would that mean to your business? Oh man, that would be awesome. Okay, cool. How do you normally make decisions in your business? Help me understand that process for you. Okay, cool. I would like to earn your business. What can we do together? Where do you see the potential for us to work together? Or you jump future pacing and jump the gun. Hey, should I go ahead and schedule the onboarding? Right? Like whatever it is, you'll be able to get the temperature of how they go, right? Any questions on so far everything I've shared? I'm going to share a pricing model and a sample script as well on top of this, because I know you guys want the full enchilada, right? Any questions on this? Anybody want to unmute and maybe provide feedback on top of that? You let me know. Is this helpful? Do you guys see how this relates to affiliate sales as well, right? Maybe you're on a Zoom call with somebody. Maybe you're on a quick messenger. You still have to carry this conversation out in a certain construct, right? Anybody want to unmute and go ahead?
Hello, how's it going?
Good.
I think this probably will help out a little bit because at least agencies will not answer and will not have the sense of direction. And most people would actually want to hear what the other person has to offer. And, and if you go straight to the point, why not?
Yeah. So I guess my whole point of this whole bridge walking, right, is really the timing of when you bring up these certain aspects of the conversation, right? You can't just go right in and say, hey, what's going on in your business? You're struggling, I can help you. When you do that, you're going right into conditions. And that's the biggest common mistake in sales. Everybody goes into conditions. Hey, how's your business doing? Oh, it's only doing 100,000. Cool, I can get it to 200,000. Well, you're functioning like a pharmacist. You're coming into that ER room and you're saying, here's a prescription that I'm used to giving everybody. You're not thinking like a physician, hearing the patient out and giving them a diagnosis and then formulating a prescription. Most sales guys fail because they function like a pharmacist. They have these premeditated solutions already and they punch it. Oh, can I close more deals? Like you're just thinking, so what's the word? You're just too excited or eager on sales to just close the deals, right? So that's a really common mistake that happens. So with that in mind, let me give you guys a script that I recently came across. There's a gentleman named Ron, Ron Swan or something like that. He's in Australia, so I want to give him credit for it. And he used this for his agency, and I took that and changed the framework on it. But I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So here's how it goes, right? And this is your prospecting. Let's say you're pounding emails, Facebook groups or DMs or whatever. Here's an easy way to have really great conversations when they do engage with you on a Zoom or a phone call or something, right? It goes like this. Hey, I'll be honest, I'm an affiliate. Yeah, I know that you may be thinking, great, another one trying to sell me something and make some commission. But hear me out. We're generating XYZ's results for these types of business owners. So let's say for some of you, you may be going directly to business owners and not marketers. You want to put that down. If you're dealing with marketers and you're selling to fellow agencies, give them a certain type of like measurable result, right? Give them something to be excited about, right? And I was wondering if I can show you exactly how we're doing this. And full transparency, my hope is that you are so impressed with our system that you end up working with us. Do you have time for a quick chat next week? I promise to give you some ideas that you are free to steal and maybe make some affiliate moolah yourself. Because you know, when you're talking to an affiliate, you're thinking, okay, how do I do what he does anyway, right? Or she, right? So you need to really bring that wall down right out of the gate, right? And if you're playing your cards right, I might even just accidentally set up your active campaign for you or your Infusionsoft, high level, whatever system you're focused on ultimately, right? We're hoping it's high level, but you get what I'm saying, right? And you want to give them that statement where it brings down the wall. And if you're playing your cards right, I might even just accidentally set up your high level for you while you listen to my lamest jokes. And you want to humanize this, right? You want to make sure they understand that it's a person behind the business, right? So I'll make sure this is posted. But overall, this is a script that I think would work for affiliates, especially when you know you want to be the most transparent, more honest approach, and it's a better way to go about it versus you bring on this audience and then you're trying to hide high level behind you, right? It's just a difficult road in my opinion, right? So it's better to go the other way and be the expert in it and just be, hey, it's an operating system. Even if it's a business owner, like they cannot survive by themselves on a high level. We know that, right? They need affiliates, they need mentors, they need coaches that are there with them, right? Does this make sense? Any question on this? Was this helpful? Does this give you some ideas? Does this help your gears turn a little bit?
Very helpful.
Okay, awesome. And by the way, what are y'all's channels? Like, what are you guys doing as far as prospecting is concerned? Are you guys pounding emails, Facebook groups, DMs? You know, what's your audience building method right now?
Instagram DMs, I've been doing that, and I've been using like link trees for any affiliates of mine.
Yeah.
And just posting and using stories and reels. And when I post the reels, I use like TikTok songs that are trending, and that helps bring up more views.
So here's the thing. If you build content around an environment, it deneutralizes you as a person and your brand, right? So let's say you go on your YouTube channel. Charlie says, I use YouTube. Perfect. What if you just talk about your bootcamp and your challenge and you build a bunch of raving reviews around it and testimonials, and you're really just marketing an event and an environment? Can you imagine that? It would probably create a bigger, what's the word? a bigger excitement versus somebody just consuming your content, right? That's the difference between building transactional audience versus branded audience that are just followers, right? It's giving them an environment. So great job on picking those channels. And I know Google AdWords is big for a lot of affiliates. I know SEO is big for a lot of bigger affiliates. I know Instagram is awesome. I know Facebook groups. Facebook groups are big. You can really put a Facebook group around one of these challenges, right? Especially if you bring in a bunch of moms in the same place and they can relate with each other, right? It's just the way you got to go about it. So let's also talk about a pricing model. Now, this is very similar to what I shared on the SaaS pricing model, the marketing agency pricing model. And the gateway, it's going to be interexchanging. Every quarter or so, you need to have a new gateway offer, right? By the end of the year, you should have at least 5 offers for your business as an affiliate, right? But first quarter, you can do a 3-day boot camp, right? Multiple 3-day boot camps every month, right? You can do 3 of those in a quarter and build an audience that way. And guess what? You want to go with these ultra challenges and these boot camps with ultra low tickets. But you want to make sure they transact, right? It needs to be a, hey, $9 a seat, $10 a seat, $5 a seat, you know, $50 a seat, something very simple and basic, right? Where they will never have a problem paying lunch money, right? Does that make sense? And that gives you qualified audience that has transacted with you, right? Anytime, Chase can probably tell you, anytime when we collaborate with like big brands, the first thing myself and Chase look at is the activation level of that audience. Somebody can have millions of followers and they've never transacted. It's absolutely meaningless. I'd rather go with somebody with 100 people that's bought $200 from them, right? That has more of a relevance in business in general, right? So these boot camps allow you to charge under 25 bucks or 50 bucks or whatever, $99 for those of you that want to go higher. And then the 14-day challenge is the same thing. The 14-day challenges, right? You can do a $500 one or $200 one, right? Imagine if somebody comes in and pays $50 to learn Facebook ads from you. What can you sell them after? If they sat with you for 3 days, right? I don't even spend that much time with family when I'm hanging out. Like Saturday, I'm out. Sunday, I'm going back home. I don't want to hang out with you guys on a 5-week vacation, right? So imagine if your audience spent 3 days with you and they only paid $50 and it's better than everything else out there, and you're organizing the knowledge that they probably already know. That's all you're doing is putting it all into one synchronized place for them, right? So this is a great affiliate model, in my opinion, to start building the audiences. Obviously, your maintenance offer is going to change based on what you really bring to the table, right? It can't be just high level. It can't be just one software system, right? It needs to be some sort of a done for you or a coaching or educational program or whatever. Your offer is going to change across each other. But then obviously downsell. Let's say if somebody doesn't want to be an affiliate and they're like, oh, I think I'm going to go right to it. Remember, you can always downsell them into a SaaS. You don't want to deal with setting this up? Not a problem, Chase. It's going to cost you $149. Right? That's just the way you go about it. And it's just another downsell, right? Because guess what? When somebody says no, don't let them walk out. You want to, on the way out, give them something, right? Even folks that I don't close with my own agency, like, and I'm in the automotive space with my agency. If they don't close, guess what I do? Hey, man, let me just give you my funnel. Why don't you just self-manage this thing? No, don't pay me anything. Self-manage it. We'll keep in touch. So what do I do in a month? Hey, how's that funnel working out for you, buddy? Oh, you don't have any traffic? No problem. $15.97 for traffic. I'll run your Facebook ads and Google ads. So you guess what happens? You elongate this conversation, right? How much does it really cost us to do a funnel? Not much, right? Maybe 2 hours, right? Maybe an email. Some of you that are in the blogging space, right? Hey, offer email blasts offer blogging as a service. Hey, you get 3 blogs, we'll set up your email, you'll just build out your audience, right? So get creative with this. This was just an idea to just get you guys going. And that's my 20 minutes, guys. I don't want to take up any more of it, but hopefully this conversation, you know, light some igniting fire under you, and you're like, you know what, man, I think I've got a few ideas that I can think of that's related to me. Most affiliates are trying to figure out how to stand out from each other. And everybody imagines that it's a competitive landscape. But when you look at marketing psychology, most people don't know how to be them in marketing. They take somebody else's, identity and try to duplicate it. Big mistake. Just be yourself, right? And that's what's going to actually win your audience, that are going to engage with you, spend money with you, resource you, and be, fruitful with you. But let's go back to our initial interaction of like Q&A that Chase was doing. But I just wanted to give you guys some nuggets to take away. I know this weekend might be big for you, and you're trying to put some stuff together. Hopefully this helps, right? Chase, if you want to take it away on Q&A or add something to it, feel free to do so. I know you deal with a lot of affiliates. I wonder what kind of questions you get, man.
Thanks, Paulson. I'm just checking real quick, but maybe that's questions that I get a lot are really around how to get started. Now, I'd love to know how many people that are watching right now don't have a single affiliate yet. Is anybody looking to get their first one, or is everybody already rolling? Okay, cool. So we've got a couple of people here. And to be honest, I'll talk about the tactic I love the most. And it seems like nobody wants to do it, but every time I've done it, it works, which is I'll take 10 minutes of my day and I'll hop on Twitter and I'll just search ClickFunnels, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, any of these competitor apps or things that do things not as well as High Level. And I always find somebody complaining about them, or I always find somebody looking for advice about an alternative. And it's literally so easy to just reply and say, and in my experience, I can speak from truth because I've used a lot of them in the past. Oh yeah, I stopped using them 3 years ago because High Level does so much more for me. Happy to chat about it. And you'll find people go, oh, I haven't heard of High Level. Oh, I got to show it to you. Can I, I'd be happy to give you a quick demo or whatever. Totally. Gary Vee loves this kind of stuff, and it works. And I don't know why more people don't do it. I don't know if they're afraid to put themselves out there a little bit like that, or if they're too lazy or what. I don't know. But like literally every time I do it, I find 5-10 opportunities in 10 minutes. And I feel like, that's the easiest way probably if you have no affiliates yet and you haven't shared your link yet, is just think about colleagues. Who have you worked with in the past? Send out an email or a text saying, hey, have you heard about High Level yet? Like, and just see what they say. And if they say no, then that's the easiest path because they already know you, they already trust you. Offer to show them what you're using it for. That's I think the lowest hanging fruit. But then after that, I would just put 10 minutes a day on my calendar. Yeah, Gary Vee had something. What was it called? Like, was it $180.80, something like that, where it's like a penny a day or whatever. But for me, it works really, really well. And I don't do it as much anymore because I don't have affiliates now that I work at High Level. But a lot of times I'll do it to prove a point. When I get in these conversations, I'll be like, let's just do this, and I hop on, and it's much easier than you think, especially if you get creative with. Just think of all the tools you've used in the past. Gravity Forms, Jot Forms, even things like AdWords or SEO terms. It's really endless, and as awesome as High Level is, and as fast as we've grown, there is a vast ocean of marketers out there who have not come across us yet. So
yeah, one of the I want to add something onto what you said, Chase, and I think that's a brilliant way to get started, right? One of the questions I get from our agencies in High Level is like, hey, should I do affiliate versus SaaS, right? And it's like this battle between the two. But I actually think both models have its own place, right? Affiliate, the luxury with affiliate is we will handle the audience for you after you bring them in, right? We're going to make sure that they're delivered all the way through. Yeah, it's only 40% versus SaaS is 100%, right? But guess what? You don't have to deal with any customers after they come into the ecosystem. Chase and I gets to deal with them, right? We are educating them. We're trying to help them adopt and things like that. So if you want a hands-off experience where you're just bringing people in and just really being, it's like going to the church and being the greeter at the door versus being the counselor in the back doing small groups as a SaaS player, right? That's literally the difference in my mind. If you do SaaS, you're handling that audience and supporting them through their adoption. Where affiliate, you're really just bringing them in through the gateway, and you catch the affiliate fees. Obviously, it's huge commissions compared to any other platform, but it's still a significant model to consider for me in my thoughts, because the whole point of affiliate is the lifestyle game, right? I don't want to have to deal with all these things in business, right? So I just wanted to add that on to what Chase said. As you get started, you still need to think through on whether you go full on SaaS versus affiliate. And I would say pick one or the other. Don't try to do both. Just pick one or the other and just be an expert at that one lane and create your audience and all of that around it. But yeah, man, I've gotta see some of that. I'm excited to now go through Twitter accounts and see if there are people, whining about other platforms. That's a brilliant way to get somebody's attention.
It's really easy. The other thing that I love to do is create content to rank. So I typically, especially if you are an agency and you have direct clients and you're going to do SaaS mode, you probably don't want your potential clients finding this content. So I wouldn't put it in my main navigation, but I would create pages on my site that are like, high level verse active campaign or high level verse whatever you used to use. And then spend some time writing. If you're going to do this, spend time and do it right. Because if you don't, it's just a waste of your time. You need to write really in-depth content about what you liked about the other tool, what you didn't like, why you moved to high level, what you love about high level. Record a video, embed the video on the page. If you can embed some social, like embed a tweet or something in there. Like basically you want a really robust piece of content around why you switch to high level from some other thing. And if you know anything about SEO, or you use something as simple as Yoast to just make sure that you have your metadata filled out, that page will rank and people will eventually start finding it while they're searching in frustration because they're frustrated with the thing that you used to use. And that stuff's great because once it ranks, it just takes a life of its own, and you might generate an affiliate from it 5 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, and again, the key to that is to not expect it to be an immediate result. Understand it's a long-term thing, but how psyched will you be 5 years from now when you get $112 off a post that you wrote 5 years ago? So that stuff is great. I mean, I would just spend some time and go, make a list of all the tools that I used to use and build a piece of content around each one of them, put them out there, let them rank, let them start earning traffic for you over the long haul. That's another sort of easy one that you can do. Again, it's not going to have any immediate results, likely, because it'll take time for it to catch wind in Google. But you definitely want to do it because, people do lots of research, right? If you're looking for an alternative or something, you're going to go through a bunch of different content to make your decision. So it's a good chance that it'll start gaining traffic. Let me check Facebook.
Chase, I slacked you a few notes that I had from Kelsey. I know she wanted to make a few notes.
Yeah, absolutely. So she was going to launch the July contest. She was going to talk about that today. I guess so. July's right around the corner.
Yeah. It's right. So, I think what I understand is it's going to be a demo contest, right?
Yeah, so she's basically going to launch a new contest, or we're going to launch a new contest for anybody who books 3 demos to talk about high level, we're going to send you a $40 gift certificate to our new swag store. So we're putting the finishing touches on a Shopify site for high level swag. And we're going to send out $40 gift certificates. So you can go in there and pick out some stuff, shirt, hat, water bottles, whatever you like. And all you have to do is basically screenshot proof that you booked a demo call, 3 demo calls with somebody. So this, I think, works well with the lowest hanging fruit strategy of just sort of going through your Rolodex of who've you worked with in the past that's also a marketer, shooting something out saying, hey, has high level come across your radar yet? No? Oh, great. I got to show you something. You know what I mean? And then just screenshot that and send it over to Kelsey and we'll get you a gift cert. Charlie asked a question here. YouTube tactics are working. I like driving to boot camp, but any others? Totally. So I love the YouTube strategy with my SEO content strategy, right? So whatever I'm writing the long form content about, I'm also going to make a YouTube video about that and embed it in the content, because it's the same thing. People are going to find that content within the algorithm of YouTube. And just make sure you write a pretty nice description in the video below the video, that has your affiliate link in there. And that should generate some traffic over time as well. So let's see what else Kelsey had on the agenda here. So starting July, that contest will be up and running. And I would also point out, we decided to keep the June contest. We opened it up and we're just going to have it as a standing contest, which is anybody who makes 3 YouTube videos will send you a high level t-shirt. So again, why I used to use Jotform and now I use high level, why I love high level for this, whatever you want to make, 3 of those, send the links to Kelsey and she will get you some swag. Let's see here. Next Friday, Kelsey's Q&A, she'll be doing a perfect demo of how to sell high level to a potential affiliate customer. So if you're like, okay, cool, I got some people I could reach out to, but I'm not exactly sure what I would do if they did book a demo call with me, Kelsey's going to walk you through that next Friday. So put that on your calendar and that should be pretty cool. And then the last note here. Okay, so it sounds like we're working on, and I don't know, Paulson, are you working on Kelsey with this, or is this something
I'm not. I just noticed that today. Maybe Robin is probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Kelsey's got something in the works, which is basically going to be a SaaS pitch deck that we're going to come out with a 10-day workshop on how to become a successful affiliate, and separately a playbook for how to create high-level YouTube banger videos. Okay, cool. So that relates back to what we were just talking about. We've worked with a bunch of sort of YouTube celebrity types, right, that do really well on YouTube. And we've sort of kind of talked to them all about their tips and tricks and filter them down into a solid list. So Kelsey's got a really nice guide on making YouTube videos for the affiliate program. And it's really easy stuff. Some of it's like, if you're not good with Photoshop, or if you've never used Canva, I think she's working on it, or actually we'll do it for you if you want, but like your thumbnail, video, image, things like that play a big part in getting clicks through and getting people to watch your videos. So we want to help with that kind of stuff, but she's got a really cool guide that she's been putting together to just make sure you cover all the basics and also some tips and tricks that you can do to give your videos a better shot at ranking. I really
like the Alex Becker video you guys did. That was awesome, especially when he was giving advice for like young entrepreneurs. It's like all about your mindset, it's all about your mindset, man. And,
totally. And
I love it.
He was really cool. We're super excited that they're using High Level now, and we're excited. We're going to do some more public stuff with Hyros and Alex. But again, if I'm an affiliate, I think I could get creative with that, right? Like, did you see Alex Becker is using High Level? Like that kind of stuff can get a lot of people excited and whoa, really? Wait, whatever Alex Becker is using, I want to know about, right? So maybe now they'll be more receptive to talking about High Level. And honestly, like, we're super excited. We feel like we've been flying under the radar, and we're heading into traffic and conversions this year, which is one of the biggest conferences in our space. If you've never heard of it, Sean, our CEO, is going to be speaking at it. We're going to throw a big party. There's going to be some celebrities there that people don't know, that we're not allowed to say use high level yet, and so I feel like it's going to be sort of a coming out party for us. And so high level is going to make a lot of noise in Q3 and Q4 this year. So I think that you guys are going to find even more people wanting to talk about it with folks who already know what it's all about. So I would start putting the seeds out there now. Get your YouTube videos up, get your content up on your site, and start getting active on Twitter. Twitter makes it the easiest, to be honest. Like, you can do it to a degree on Instagram as well. But I really love Twitter just because you can literally just search those terms and find conversations that are happening right now. And, you don't have to be spammy or anything, but you can just hop in and be like, oh yeah, I used to use that. I didn't like how it didn't do this, and I found an awesome alternative. I'd be happy to show you, and people are really receptive to that. So a lot of exciting stuff. And I would say, what's that saying? Like, the best time to start was yesterday and the second best time is today, or last week and the second best is today. Like, it's all about baby steps, right? But man, if you guys could see like how many people are making crazy amounts of money off the affiliate program, it would be
There's six-figure monthly players. And I'm like,
I mean, honestly, like $50,000, $70,000 checks are going out. And granted, they've been doing it for longer, but we all started at zero. So hopefully that's encouraging, and hopefully you guys know that we're all here to help and root you on. And anything that we can do, again, if you need help with a graphic design, if you need help with a video edit, if you need help with having one of us come and join you on a webinar or a podcast or a live, we're super happy to do that. Paulson and I jump on, Kelsey, Sean, Robin, shoot, even Varun, if it's a technical community. So just know that we're here for you, anything that you guys need. And, we're about to hit the hour, but did anybody else have any last minute questions?
I do, Chase.
Okay, fire away.
So I was thinking about SaaS versus the affiliate, and going towards the affiliate, do you think that it's important to have a really tight niche around that, or?
I mean, in my mind, no. Anybody, like, I love the affiliate in my back pocket, right? Like, if I'm you and I'm interested in SaaS, I'm going to go hard on that, but I'm always just going to have it in the back of my mind that if I come across a colleague or somebody else, another marketing agency, a marketing consultant, here's who I love, right? I love talking with independent owners, somebody who's building websites for people, somebody who's doing SEO for their friends, somebody who hasn't realized yet that they're a marketing agency because they're just doing it themselves. That's the type of person who I'm like, dude, high level can turn you into so much more than what you are right now. You know what I mean? And there are so many people that consider themselves consultants or freelancers, not agencies. And I feel like you'll just start running into them as you set your SaaS plan in motion. You'll start joining groups and attending events and this kind of stuff. And you'll just start bumping into people that are doing marketing. And especially like when I hear, oh, I'm a freelancer. I'm like, why are you a freelancer? We should talk about how you can turn yourself into an agency. You know what I mean? And it's just a mental shift, right? I mean, Paulson, you talk a lot about this kind of stuff, but I think that's when I go into my back pocket and I'm like, hey, I'd love to book a chat with you to talk about what you're doing, and then just go from there.
Yeah, I think the brilliant way to niche down, always follow that 80-20 rule. You'll have the 20% of random stuff that comes your way. But ultimately, I think the affiliate play in my mind would be to individualize the audience, right? So like, yeah, as an agency, when you niche down, you're like, okay, let me go after the automotive or dentists or chiropractors. And it's anybody that fits that mold. Versus affiliates, I think you should go after personal avatars, right? Like the moms or the retired folks or the new young entrepreneur or the lifestyle coaches or like go into that individuality, and that'll help you relate, quite often. There's so many brands that are like, what is it called? Lady Boss and like lifestyle car racers and stuff like that, where it's not niche down from like an industry or service level, but it's niche down if you really pay attention to the folks that are in that ecosystem that are alike, right? They can all relate with each other. So that's probably the way I would consider affiliate play more than anything else. The SaaS agency play or agency only play, that's all industry-based niching down or service-based niche down, right? It's based on your delivery or what their product or service is.
Yeah,
But
I
with
guess I'm wondering
affiliates,
which way I should head because I've got 1,000 ways I could go. My son's a painter. I'm helping him build out GHL, all on GHL here. And then he started to have people call him for lead gen. And I'm like, well, they don't know about that they could add SaaS to their. So I was like, locally here, I'm Canadian. Locally here in Canada, in my city, I could just call every digital marketer that talks to local businesses and sell them the SaaS side. So I get like, I think my biggest problem is I have so many ideas. I don't always know because we've had this conversation before, right? Like I'm still trying to figure out what's the best.
Ham, let me plant an idea in your head. If you're going, as you go into SaaS mode, right, and you're going to start pitching businesses, you're going to run
That's
into
the
a lot.
Is I don't know if I want to do SaaS mode.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So let's say you do, or for everybody who's thinking about SaaS mode, right? You go in and you start pitching businesses, and you're going to hear a lot of, oh, I already have a social media guy. I already have an ad agency. Oh, cool. Could I get their contact info? That's a potential affiliate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could, and I would hit them up and be like, hey, what tech stack are you guys using? Or hey, you know what I mean? Whatever I need to do, get the intro there. But you also made me think of like social media manager. Social media, like there are billions of people who consider themselves social media agencies or consultants or whatever. And they're just thinking so small. They're all just like, hey, let me run your Instagram account for you. Hey, let me run your Facebook account for you. Those people are, maybe we should take a step back. Like high level for somebody like that, it's like, hey, you just be silly to just offer that service and not give your client a platform as well. Because what we've done with SaaS mode is really put together a package that we know every business needs. Every small business on earth needs two-way text messaging, a web tap widget, Facebook messaging, review, reputation management. They all need that. And so if you're just making websites for people because you're stuck in that freelancer mentality, this is like a godsend because you already have the clients. Just go back to them and give them the platform that they might not know that they need yet, but they will know in the next 5 years. And so
So you're thinking more local businesses chase these people that service local businesses? Because I came from the ClickFunnels world, so I built huge agencies building funnels for people, digital marketing, and I just didn't want 20 staff anymore. So I think the local's untapped for affiliates. It always was with ClickFunnels as well, especially up here. Nobody really hears of it. So, but there, like you said, there's a lot of.
I see what you're saying. So if you're coming from the ClickFunnels world, I could see how it would be a little bit confusing because the ClickFunnels affiliate program, they're going after businesses, right? They don't care if you're a marketer or a business. They're like, you should have a funnel. And so what we target agencies, and so there is that distinction, right? And so it's like, oh, if you're talking to a business owner, then they should be paying you directly under your white label. If it's a marketer, then it's an affiliate. So that's the distinction. Which path that you want to put your time and energy into is obviously totally up to you.
Yeah.
Both are lucrative. I think the white label SaaS mode is a little more lucrative because you can typically charge, whatever you want. But both are recurring revenue. And especially if you keep it tight with SaaS mode and just focus on the things that are not services that are just automatic after the setup, you don't need a staff of 20 to build a big agency. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'm in Julie Stoyan's world, I'm Funnel Gorgeous certified as well. So that made me nauseous. Servicing at $97 with
That's tough.
1,600 women that don't know how to do a domain, right? Like I just couldn't, because that's where I was kind of headed. And then I was like, I don't want to be in competition with them. But I didn't want to charge $97 for, that's what they're charging for everything. So so I tried to jump out of there and then head over somewhere else. And that's where I'm just trying to figure out what's the
Yeah.
best.
And that's, yeah, exactly. So we feel that pain. And I think, honestly, here's an idea that I love as well. There are, I don't know, Pulse, on how many millions now of people who have bought courses from gurus that are saying, hey, you need to become a Facebook ads expert. You're going to make $1 million selling Facebook ad services to every small business in the country. And 99% of them buy the course, go through it, pitch a couple of businesses, realize it's way harder than they thought,
Yeah.
and give up.
Yeah.
If I talk to one of them, I'm like, hey, that was way harder than you thought it was going to be, right? Yeah, servicing companies sucks. It's like, well, how about this? Why don't you become a SaaS company? Because once it's set up, you don't have to do anything anymore, and we'll do the setup for you. It's a way, they have way more chance of success doing SaaS mode, like through you as an affiliate, than they ever will trying to build a Facebook ads agency. That's just the sad truth of it. And so I think there's a huge sea of people out there who are feeling a little dejected about their dream of becoming a marketing agency that could be successful SaaS mode agencies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's an interesting angle.
Yeah, and I think I've seen a recent, like maybe 4 or 5 people who's going out there and kind of combining a SaaS affiliate hybrid. And the way they're doing that is by running ads, and they'll say, hey, Samir, you're working in real estate, or let's say you're going after realtors, for example, right? As an example. I, as the affiliate, would just build out all the funnels and ads and just give it to you for free. All self-managed marketing in a box for free. You want to run your own ads, don't ever have to hire an agency. Here are all the Facebook ads, Google ads, and funnels all in one box. Big glossary of everything you would ever need in marketing. By the way, I have high level so you can track all your leads. And I thought it was brilliant because they're selling $297 SaaS play and just giving away the marketing. It's like undercutting the whole marketing industry all the way through, and they're crushing it. But the funny part is when they come across leads and demos that are high tech, they'll just turn them into affiliates, right? They be like, oh, you can do the same thing. You want to go sell to other realtors yourself? Not a problem. Here are all my ads. Here's my system. And let me tell you about my system. Here's how I did this XYZ with high level. So what they would do is get the SaaS money as well as the affiliate money and just help them set up their own brand, right? So that becomes their maintenance software. I thought it was pretty clever, but that's, you know, that's good for somebody who has a lot of experience running ads and they're willing to give it all away, right? And if you're one of those agencies, you're like, yeah, I've done, you know, $500,000 of ads in Cairo, like, sure, give it away then, right? You're done with professional services anyway, might as well give it away and turn that into a gateway. And I thought it was pretty clever.
Yeah, there's just so many of those angles. It's when I go to
Yeah.
think about building out a YouTube channel and things like that, I was like, who's the person? What is it that I'm gonna talk to?
Yeah, and I'm sure myself and Chase can probably spend days talking about how we see 12,000 agencies scale. We see the back end of almost everything and the brilliance of a lot of people that come out. But here's a takeaway that I think we can just close out the session today is don't overplan. The thing with affiliates that I see quite a bit, they mentally disable themselves with ideas and concepts and all these things. Ultimately, you need to just take that step and figure out where your transactional audience is going to be built from, right? Jump. Don't wait. Like, there is no perfect plan. There isn't. There is no perfect niche. There's no perfect avatar. There's no perfect package. There's no perfect business, because everybody that runs business is a imperfect, like, human being, right? So my recommendation is to launch right away. Like by Monday, have something in the market. Mike Tyson says, not Mike Tyson, one of the boxers, they were talking about sales, and he was like, I want to know how many punches you landed today. Every single day you need to land a punch as a trainer, right? In sales, how many offers did you put out there in a single day? Every single day, how many offers were out there? So with that mindset, I would say as an affiliate, if you're starting out, don't overplan. Don't try to build this big ecosystem. Yeah, we're giving you guys ideas, but don't let that disable you from taking steps. Like, make your decisions. I'm sure Chase will agree. The folks that do well are the ones that jump in and just do the work and launch, right? Otherwise, it's easy to drown yourself in ideas, and it'll keep going for months and months. And then 2022 comes, it's like, man, I need to launch my affiliate program. So many Teslas have been gone by me, right? So
Yeah.
Chase, any final word for Nina?
Yeah, for sure. I love that. It's all about the reps. And that's why I love putting 20 minutes on your calendar, a recurring slot, or a half an hour. And for me, it's on Twitter. And even if either way I'm going, Pam, like, let's say you're thinking about doing just affiliates, search in the terms, search social media manager, and just ping people. Hey, do you just offer your client services, or do you also offer them platform? They're all going to say just services and be like, oh, I've been checking out High Level. It seems like we could also offer them a platform. I do social media marketing too. You know what I mean? It's just like, just do that over and over, and do it for a couple of weeks. And I think you'll feel way more confident about what you're doing. You'll have a clearer idea which way you want to go. But I think, Paulson, that's great advice. Just start by getting the reps.
Yeah, number of conversations is what drives a business. Nothing else. That phone call needs to happen. Number of conversations. Go ahead, Helder. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. It's just when I see this on other groups that use since we're gonna name, like, I see this on Conversion AI and on Surfer, like all these tools that go well together with social media management for either Cloud Campaign or whatever. And I see so many times I feel like I want to reach out and say, you know what, hey, let me tell them, because they're trying to talk about Dubsado and all these platforms that they have, and I'm like, oh man, the opportunities they are here, and I just shy of not reaching out because I don't want to be that guy. We get DM all the time. We ask something on the group, and then there's somebody offering there on DM. So we don't want to be that guy, but I think if you adjust and just break the ice and be like just say, Chase just suggested, be more personable, and spend 5-10 minutes and, hey, are you interested in offering systems? But a lot of these people do affiliate links, so they make money from multiple diversity of platforms. But I think the bigger play is, instead of they chasing pennies from here and here and here and there, to actually have a system that can actually their clients or the referrals, they have a bigger picture, and a system that's going to be a lot better served, and it's going to do their needs in all in one place. I mean, we know what High Level does. I think that is a good.
I think I'll leave you guys with this, and then we'll jump. Always remember, the ethos of High Level is that it's not about our logo, it's about yours. And that will be the one thing that always separate a conversation about High Level versus a conversation about any of the other platforms, is because they all want you to push that platform. We want you to push yourself. We want you to white label us and then sell yourself. You know what I mean? And that's a different message than everybody else has in the marketplace. So you're not out there saying, oh, don't push that platform, push this platform. You're out there saying, stop pushing all those other platforms and push your own. And so
that is actually a good idea, because now actually what we can change the mindset is on these guys. Hey, you know what? That is a good suggestion. It's like, hey, you know what? Why don't we just grab your branding, actually combine all these tools and put it in one CRM, and let me show you how it's done. That's a good, that is actually a good takeaway.
That's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to democratize the world of SaaS and get the people who deserve the money, because we all know, and here I go, but I'll run with it. We know that every business needs tech, but they're the last people to know what tech they need or how to set it up. They always rely on somebody else to do that. And that's the person that deserves the recurring revenue, but they never get it. Now they will with High Level. That's sort of our mission. And so hopefully,
that could take away. Yeah, that good takeaway is we already do these for clients as an agency. Why not help somebody that's not even thought about agency, but that's just affiliate links and SEO and whatever? Why not help them actually be as an agency type and as an agency, but actually their own branding, and help them have a system that, yeah, that's
Exactly.
great.
You got it. All right. We'll run with that, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.